Many hope for a day when Jews and Arabs can live together peacefully without violence forever. But peace seems to be impossible. Too many bombs, too many bullets, too many soldiers stand in the way. And so the fighting persists into the new century. Is it about land, religion, prosperity? Today, seeking answers to these questions, we look at the history of this conflict. What emerges is the story of two populations, Israelis and Palestinians. Decades of violence and peace talks have brought the world back to square one, to the place Abraham knew as Canaan. In the beginning, the Jews believed that God promised land to modern-day Israel to Abraham. Abraham had two sons, Ishmael and Isaac. According to Islam, Ishmael's descendants became Muslim. The descendants of Isaac were known as the Israelites. Famine struck Canaan, and the Israelites moved to Egypt, where they were enslaved for 400 years until Moses led them out of Egypt. God made Moses the Ten Commandments and the tenets of Judaism. The Jews then returned to the land God promised them. Around the same time, the Philistines migrated to Canaan too. Upon returning, the Philistines and the Israelites fought. The story of David and Goliath was during this time. It was David who created the kingdom of Israel. He captured Jerusalem and made it the capital. His son Solomon built the first temple there. Within the temple was the Holy of Holies, which housed the Ark of the Covenant. In the New Testament, Jesus was born in Bethlehem, south of Jerusalem. The site of his crucifixion, burial, and resurrection were in Jerusalem. Around 610 AD, an Arab merchant in Mecca heard God speak to him through the angel Gabriel. He was to become known as the Prophet Muhammad for Muslims. Muhammad ascended to heaven in Jerusalem, where he received the revelation of the tenets of Islam and the commandment to pray 5 times a day. Then he returned to earth. In the century after, Muslim Arabs moved north from Arabia to conquer most of the Middle East, including Palestine, North Africa, and parts of Europe and Asia. Jerusalem is believed to be the site of Muhammad's ascent to heaven. Same spot the Jews had built their first temple. During the Crusades, the Europeans started persecuting Jews. This led to the Zionist movement. Zionists believed Jews should have their own homeland. During World War I, British made promises to both Jews and Arabs that they'll get their homeland in what is now modern-day Israel. Britain was not able to keep their promises till after World War II. When Britain did try to keep the promises, it was hard to please both cultures. Finally, Britain decided to go to the UN for help. The UN decided to split Israel, half giving it to Jews and half of it giving to Arabs. But both countries were not content, and this led to the war in 1948.